Not only is the country divided, but it seems there are different views and opinions about the president within the ruling party. That's, of course, after the release of that Phala Phala report by that independent panel in Parliament, which looked into the theft on the president's Phala Phala farm in Limpopo. Now, the panel's report found, among other things, that the president may have committed serious misconduct and violated the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, and has yet to answer where the money that was stolen from his farm actually came from. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila has been following these developments. He's joining me now in studio here as we continue to unpack this. Aviwe, good afternoon. Let's just get straight to it. Take us to these key findings by this independent panel, which was headed by the former Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo. And let's point out it was a three-person parliament appointed according to the new parliamentary rules on how to deal with a potential impeachment of a sitting president.
Well, very damning findings, Brian. But first, I want to go through the Constitution itself, which spells out the process of impeachment. It has 3 bullet points that details how a president can be impeached, where first it says that the president has to have committed a serious violation of the Constitution or law itself. Second bullet point is that the president has to have committed serious misconduct, and the other is that the president has to be ill or disabled. Therefore, then the process of impeachment can be underway. But I want to take you through, Dan, some of the findings of the Section 89 panel on the Phala Phala saga. Firstly, it says that the president may have committed a serious violation of Section 96, subsection 2A of the Constitution. That is, that members of the cabinet and deputy ministers may not undertake any other paid work. That means that your salary has to come from government and the position that you hold, and not have any other businesses on the side, such as the Phala Phala farm. If we rule on and move on, the other page will then detail that the president may have committed a serious violation of Section 34.1 of the PRECA Act, that talks of the president not being allowed, enforced to report certain offences, and failure to report those offences being a criminal offence. We do know that there was the theft that happened at the president's farm early 2020. That we do understand was not reported to the right channels, as we do understand, according to the allegations that have surfaced. The other page, as we roll on, will tell you that the president may have committed a serious misconduct, in that the president violated Section 96, subsection 2B of the Constitution, that talks of the president may not act in any way that is inconsistent with their office. Number of irregularities, of course, that has been painted out by the panel there, and how that may have happened. First being that, of course, the Namibian authorities that have suggested to have been brought on and told to keep quiet about these matters, as those investigations were still going on, and assistance required even from those members there. The last finding of this report spoke that the president may have committed a serious misconduct, and that the president violated Section 96, subsection 2B of the Constitution, and that is the president exposing himself to any situation involving the risk of a conflict between the official position and the office itself. Of course, look there about the stolen money itself, how it was hidden inside a sofa, a number of irregularities by Dan that have been painted out there, the concealment of the money inside the sofa, the question around South African Reserve Bank not being alerted of the foreign currency, 580,000 US dollars. So those are some of the findings that now have to be looked into, we do understand, by Parliament. Also, ANC, of course, going to that NEC meeting this evening, will be delving into the recommendations and the findings of the Section 89 panel.
Yeah, and the president was supposed to be at the National Council of Provinces this afternoon for a Q&A session. We understand, Aviwe, that's no longer going to be happening, so we await to see the developments over the next few hours. What is also key for me is the president's submission, which was also distributed yesterday, that we got a hold of. It looks like the panel did not buy some of the things that he was saying there, even finding some of his submissions to be irrelevant to the real question about what happened in Phala Phala farm. So what about the experts? I don't know if you've been speaking to anybody, Aviwe, so far. Do they think this is an impeachable case?
Well, there are some that I tried. For example, Kosatu saying that this is too bigger of a matter to just give comment. They have to delve into it themselves and then come back with the official comment. SACP as well, saying that it's going into its central committee meeting over the weekend. Then thereafter on Sunday, they'll be giving specifics. I did manage, however, to speak to the electoral committee, the secretary over there, Chief Mtila, who suggests that nothing changes. Remember,
that's the ANC's electoral committee.
That's the ANC's electoral committee that looks into who may contest the positions of the ANC.
Next month in December, yeah.
On the 16th of December. We know maybe just a week ago, they announced the top 6 people that will be contested.
There were 16
names came out there. President Cyril Ramaphosa, one of those names. They say that nothing has changed. Nothing, no bearing of this panel 89, the Section 89 panel has a bearing on their decision. The president is still eligible to stand in the elective conference of the African National Congress. Another expert that I spoke to was UCT law professor Pierre de Vos, who suggests that there are many questions that still need answering, and if the president is open about what needs to happen next, he needs to let the impeachment process itself go ahead. Therefore, everything can be scrutinized and he can come out clean, if that is the sense. In fact, I wanted to take a listen to that conversation with Professor Pierre de Vos.
The process of impeachment is an opportunity for accountability to play open cards. There clearly are questions. Whether the panel got it correct in every way, I don't think so, but there clearly are questions. If the president didn't do anything wrong, it would be in his long-term interest to have a process where it could be revealed that all this there was no problem with it. Of course, if there are many things to hide, it would be foolish for the president to want the process to proceed. So I think when in doubt, on the side of openness, transparency, and accountability, although, the president and whoever will say it will be difficult, it will be disruptive, but yes, I think it's better to have it so that we can have a more definitive process to find out all the facts.